see some little people that walk on with book and paper and pen.
I can't even read some of their name there now. Samuel Thomas Marva Archibald. Oh, Marva Archibald. Did I turn on the light? If it a get more messy, me say, oh my God, Morel? But I'm glad today for the verdict though. I'm glad for the verdict of Noel Maitland. Even though part of me still believe otherwise. But glad that he's held accountable because he know what happened. Him know. Sometimes we can make the devil get in our way, see man. And do some things and then sorry, but them do it and think them would get way, you know. I don't believe another get way. That's the whole thing. I don't thought I would get away. But not so. What a whole heap of mess in Jamaica. God, me never know me live in Jamaica so messy. I want to go on. Hi Vilma. You been off for a while. You're so happy. Hope him get life. Hope them not open it and let him get off. As Mario Dean. So hold on. After them find him guilty, he can still get away. Nadi, good night. CJ, good night. Man, me not answer no more question about where I come from, man. I can't bother. What that have to do with you? Where I come from, what that have to do with you? What that I gonna do to you? Hi, Vivian Lawrence, good night. Um, this is not a dating site, and I'm not looking for nobody. Please, nobody with the stupidness. It's not a dating site, and this woman not looking no man. My kind of man, they know they on social media. Um, my man, they know they on social media. I'm going to play this one. But I'm glad, boy. It take a while, but at least somebody is held accountable for the girl death. Now I listen to him father talk like him not a sense. And the lawyer them and the whole of them.
Donaldson. I may never get a bone, but justice will serve. Justice will serve. And I will fight to the end, and this is not the end. Because there is a higher God, authority, who is going to deal with this in his own way. And I want to say thank you all to each and every one of you. Victory. We proclaim victory today. Thank you all. God is good. God is good. Thanks to the justice system. Thanks to the jurors. Thanks to Judge Pusey. Thanks to the team of the DPP. I want to say a big thank you to you all. God is good.
Mommy, you saw Noel cry. What's your reaction to that?
I don't know how to answer that one. Tears our language for even the murderers. God understands. He knows why he cries. He has been crying from day one. I don't understand why Noel Maitland did this. But God knows. I don't want to comment much on him. But I know one day, Noel, even 100 years behind bars, you will tell me what happened to my child.
Did you doubt that this would have been the outcome?
I have no doubt, because I firmly believe in God, and I know God was going to give me justice. I went through this without doubts. I knew today would have been the verdict guilty.
Congratulations.
Tell us how you feel.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling now. It's not what I expected in terms of feelings, because now I'm feeling sad. It's almost as if it's a confirmation that Donnelly is really gone. So it's not a moment for us to rejoice. It's an acceptance that the jurors, I think, returned the correct verdict. So we are comforted by that. But there's no rejoicing, there's no happy, because Donnelly is dead.
You put in a lot of
Mother
work.
has lost her. Yes, we always do. We always put in a lot of work. Whomever the deceased is, whomever the victim is, we're always putting a lot of work. And this was a team effort.
God is good. I may never know what...
I just said, Morel, but you see, they still not accept, you know, them still not accept, them still
God
not
is
accept.
good. I may never...
They no want accept, say, of them. So, they say the liar, say, him a go, let me tell you what the liar, him a say now. Him a go
Farmers
appeal.
in rural Clarence.
Him a go appeal. Him a go appeal it. I went there again,
Then say their livelihoods are hanging.
To all my Jamaican people, to each and every one all over this world, thank you very much to stand with me in unity. Today the verdict
You have need to talk with everybody
was
then.
passed.
I think them burn,
Victory
they
belongs
cremate
to
her
us.
body. I believe them cremate the
Victory
body.
belongs to us. I may never know what happened to my daughter, Donnelly Donaldson. I may never get a bone, but justice will serve. Justice will serve. And I will fight to the end, and this is not the end. Because there
I
is a
do.
higher God, authority, who is going to deal with this in his own way. And I want to say thank you all to each and every one of you. Victory. We proclaim victory today. Thank you all.
I feel so sad for her. Because
Principles of Business, what is the two-word term for the point at which total revenue equals total cost, with no profit or loss made? It's the break-even point, and that is the bell. That's the end of the final challenge, and the end of the match.
Me can't talk to you.
If it is that when faith meets fashion,
I'm not sure how I'm feeling now. It's not what I expected.
An Oregon man was convicted and sent to jail.
I'm playing father. Playing father, sir.
I'll tell you the truth. I don't have nothing to say now. I have nothing to say. All I'm going to do is just appeal.
You were in the courtroom when they...
Yes, I was.
What did you feel? How do you feel when you heard that he was guilty?
How I feel? Well, I didn't expect him guilty. I didn't expect them to find him guilty. Because I don't see the evidence to find him guilty. That's all.
So in other words, you don't think the outcome is just?
The lawyer said I'm going to appeal.
Don't you think the evidence was overwhelming?
No, I don't.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Huh?
What's your name?
Same name as it.
What's your first name?
Same name as it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll tell you the truth. I don't have nothing to say now.
I think, no. I think somebody will get way out on a case. Me still hold that. Somebody, Genevieve, somebody else need to go to prison out of this case. And miss a piece of puzzle still out there. Somebody else need to go to prison. Exactly. Somebody else need to go to prison. Somebody else missing out of the puzzle to go to prison. But time will tell. Time will tell. Time will tell. Time will tell. Him not act alone. Him not act alone. All the evidence him would have get to him would have forget prison term, you know. Because even the part about the camera upon the house when you go to the neighbor, I'm going to tell the neighbor to delete where they're upon the camera. What you tell the neighbor to delete where they're upon the camera for? Them they are clear evidence, you know. The coach, when Kerry got the car watch, be here they lie about the jury then come back with quick verdict. Listen me, that the verdict that they done gone long time. They never need if people go they never need for go deliberate or nothing. There's too much evidence. The evidence then too overwhelming. That really get a lesser sentence, you know, it can go both ways. But what liar will come up with? A shame saying lose the case. He just have to say that. Them not him cannot get away. And I would encourage his mother to save some money put on. That in the event of them try to do that. And anything got in their favor. Take it straight to the Privy Council. Don't stop. The judge alone could have found him guilty. Too much evidence. First of all, You got the woman yard go pick up your man girl child from her yard. You go pick up your woman pitney, you know, from her yard. And you know return her back. And a call kind of fool about when questioning at the court, why was there red substance and at the apartment? With him foolish idiot self. Before him say he don't know about that. He go say, oh, it could be balcony sex or miscarriage. Right there so you give away yourself. Right there so he give away himself. Right there so you give away yourself. You're saying the judge did rule? The judge never ruled. The judge said it, the judge said the jury must look at the evidence. The evidence is clear. The evidence is clear. I'm really glad somebody's held accountable. But as I'm saying, there's a missing piece of the puzzle. Somebody else need to get arrested. Tap up the screamers and come on in.
I tell you the truth. I don't have nothing to say now.
No.
God is good. God is good. Is it all who don't know God?
I don't know what this Winnie saying come to me. Let me see what Winnie saying come to me.
Donald Trump had this moment in the White House while making the announcement just moments ago. Watch.
Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol.
Exactly,
For
Maxine.
pregnancy can be
Exactly.
associated with a very increased risk of autism.
Okay. No, he's now.
I see.
And they said black women have brain processing power, but I'm just
See you next lifetime.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good, wasn't it? I did very well.
That's great.
No matter who you're talking to, I don't care who it is. The fact that it's the President of the United States stands apart. But even if anybody random, as soon as you're struggling that much with that word, I will not pay attention to a single thing that comes out of your mouth. The next thing out of your mouth is like, I don't, you were a dumbass.
That really turns my stomach.
That was so good. If Kimmel doesn't use that tomorrow, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
It says here that
We feel proud of the DPP. We feel proud of her. And I see a difference in her than the one we gone. And I only hope and trust she just do her job just as how it is to be done. Because some politician need to go to prison too. So, I hope she don't make them spoil her. This is a good victory for her. Yeah. But it not done. But somebody are talking now. Wait. It may just outburst here. It may just get an outburst. Same in their ball. In a ball yet. The argument that she at work, yeah, she working. Something went wrong at the apartment. Something went wrong. She was there, and her mother said she heard from her up to what, 4 o'clock the evening or something like that, or the brother. And then they never hear from her again. And she did call her father the day too. And then I hear from her again. So she over there, and not no more than the other one here, so she did it. Or go over there go see her. And a death so. And when him come and see what go on, him try to cover it up. And that's the point me hold from day one. I wasn't there. But in my spirit, that's exactly how it go. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to get away. You're not going to get away. There's a thing called karma. And whatsoever man sow it, that shall he also reap. You won't get away. When you feel like say you get away from man, you won't get away from God. And he's a just God. And unless you repent, you shall likewise perish. Yeah. But back over now to free politics now. Only to be learning now that Cliff Hughes was lying. You don't remember clip I play? There's no truth I learned to what Cliff Hughes was saying. Let me play back the clip. It's a good news in a sense until me never tell you Cliff Hughes is a oh, under this mirror. But I'm playing a clip here with Wilmington since I come. Because I play it from the day and I never play it. So let me play it now.
Hearing the use.
Mr. Chairman.
No, what? Hearing the use to make that contribution. They don't.
Mr. Chairman.
Period. No. They don't. Please, Mr. Miller. The issue, you said that you don't know what specific I'm talking about. An announcement was just made last week. The provisions are made for them to get concessional loan from you. And their contributors who have applied to housing trusts cannot get loans because they don't have no points. They don't have no points, so they can't get it. So how do you find the points for the church? How do you arrive at that? I don't want you about institutional, umbrella church or Baptist or what have you. I don't, because I'm saying the church can apply for loans based on their financial status, because the last report showed that the churches have more than $2 billion in account. And they have, then I'm curious then. The church is not a contributor. So on what basis, how would you assess their application for loans and understand they're supposed to apply to housing trusts for loans? And if they are not contributors, how do you assess them and approve such application when you are telling us now that only contributors can apply? In what category? How do you assess that? And they're not contributors.
Mr. Chairman, for many years now, we have operated what we refer to as an institutional loan.
No. Mr. Miller, watch me. I'm not asking about what happens over the years. I ask a simple question in relationship. If the churches are not contributors, and housing trust was established to assist contributors, and you are saying only contributors are qualified to apply, I'm not interested in institutional loans that have been done over the years. I'm asking how do you provide for them? They are not contributors when you just say contributors provided for. A church in Spanish Town, the Philippa Baptist Church, the last financial report showed they have more than $70 million in their account. One single Baptist church in Spanish Town, Philippa Baptist Church. So what I'm saying, you have poor contributors applying to you, they can't get it, but then the church just walk in over there and get it. I'm saying that what needs to be done now, your board needs to change the rule that every contributor should be able to walk through the doors of Housing Trust
Yes.
to apply for a loan without any assessment of qualification if the church can do without being qualified, based on the record that you now have.
You agree with Wilmington on this? I agree with him on it. It's not fair. No, I'm a part of the church. So I'm not bashing the church. So don't get that. But if them not contribute to it, how them I get loan? Then if forget no loan. Then if forget no loan. You never contribute to it. You never forget no loan. Who contribute can get the house and then them forget it because the government a try to look some alibi. A vote him a try look, you know. I know the man can't answer. The man just sit down up and look for Wilmington. No, when they speak like this, though, people are going to say because you're against the church. No, it's not against the church. But the truth is, NHT is for contributors. And people have contributed for years. And you hear so then I reach your points. And then the church, when I think about can't do nothing, forget loan. No, it ain't fair. Make the church go bank, go borrow money. Make the church go bank, go borrow money. You hear how much money say Philippa Baptist Church have? Millions of dollars. So them can actually repair other church in the organization. The church of organization. When Ivan came, the church that I go, it was a concrete structure at the time and it blew down. Not 100% down, but it did get damaged. And the church, everybody come together and the overseas organization, they put together and they build up a lovely church. They never go borrow no money from nobody. So why me having bad ways, but one thing with him. And that's why they not give him no portfolio in the party, you know. You see, because him not in the foolishness with them. I'll talk about that, I put this right as of ask on. What is happening to the school bus? Anybody on here tonight now? What is happening to the school bus? My bus smells sweet. Oh, my bus smells so sweet. What? My bus smells sweet. Wait. You look like some cologne through a pan is a bus, eh? Oh, it smells so sweet. No, sir. Anyway. Can somebody answer me? What happened to the school buses across the island? And we were told that by the end of December, we would have got 50 odd more buses. Now, Mr. say, Daryl Valls not talk about bus, all him talk about a JPS. Can somebody explain to me, if you haven't know anything, tell me. What happened to the school buses? Type in the comment. Where's a naughty? All liar and thief. I say the good night. Kimani straight. I am asking the question because these people try to run ahead of things and now you notice him not saying nothing about the school bus again. Although we know it's a politics thing. But he told the country that it was 1.4 billion for these buses. And some bus came in and the rest were coming back by the end of the year. We need to hear where the buses are. Where are the buses, Daryl Valls? Now, another thing I see. They take up 150 million US dollar lend JPS. Trying to push JPS. See, the line down Hanover catch a fire. Yesterday. Today, one accident on Spur Tree Hill. lick out light post down there, put plunge back the whole of St. Elizabeth in a darkness again. And only if you see this in the headline today, was it today or yesterday, but I think it's today, that the government of Jamaica is borrowing, and tell me if this makes sense. Oh, action beating Valerie for you bust them. Good night, Betty Ann. Hold on there. No, the government lent JPS 150,000 US dollars. And only to see, let me look back for the only to see that the government now going to borrow some money now from the Bank of Jamaica. I tell you that the country, them glad the hurricane come because we no money now left there. ICC cake. You don't know, say, them are going to borrow money from the Bank of Jamaica. Hold on, let me see if I find it. I wish one had paper it, you know. Oh, see clip I mean I look for here. My places me find it. Maitland liar.
Surprised by the verdict, but it is a verdict and it is what it is. Of course, there's always a court of appeal. So, on to the next level.
You said that there's always the court of appeal. Is this an indication that you will be appealing the
Well,
verdict?
I have a strong feeling that whichever way the verdict went, there would have been an appeal.
Why?
I don't want to say anything too much yet, but certainly we are concerned about how some of the issues were dealt with.
Any particular issue?
I'm not going to say right now, but we're concerned about how some of the issues were dealt with. As you notice, the summing up was very short. We don't know. The jury takes somewhat 3.5 hours or somewhere there to make a decision. And we're on to the next level. So we'll see what happens next.
Did you get a chance to speak with your client?
Yes, I did.
What was the reaction?
He's very teary-eyed. He knows he's innocent. And he will have to take another opportunity to seek justice at the court of appeal.
You know, say.
God is good.
You know, so they should have
We're a bit surprised by
the liar them way. You know, they should have one lie, see? All liar represent criminal. And if they lose the case, they sentence the liar with them too. Because this man will come out and say, with all the evidence, saying client not guilty. Either you shut him out. You should have make a man take a plea deal. That you should end up. Oh, no. Where's the article, man? But the government have borrow money. So you lend money and then you borrow money. Only tell me if it makes sense. Tell me if this make any form of sense. Let me look back and you know me. Oh, I think I hate this one. Government to borrow $5 billion through a 20-year ban to finance budget. A value, you say, we're looking at what we say, what that the word now, spliffy. I don't know the meaning for that word, you know. I never hear the word before. Spliffy? I have to go look for the meaning because I don't know the meaning of the word at all. I borrow $5 billion for the budget. You don't see where country I head for. When they don't borrow, I want to live right, they say, oh, we never borrow no money. Let me look for the definition of the word because I don't know it. Spiffy. I have to look for it because I'm not sure I know the meaning then none at all. Spiffy. Spiffy. Let me see what spiffy mean. Stylish. Stylish and smart. I never know that word, you know. Spiffy. I learned something new. I never know that word. Thank you. Thank you, Valerie. It means fancy or dress up. You say we're never too old for learn. We never know that word. We learn it tonight. Spiffy. So somebody else can learn it too. Spiffy. Yeah. So government to borrow $5 billion through 20-year bond to finance budget. The government say it will seek to raise $5 billion. Then all the money they want to borrow from IMF and all but. Then not so much money we did one. In January 2026 through a 20-year bond at an interest rate of 11.7. At an interest rate at 11.75 per annum to help finance the current fiscal year budget. The minimum investment is $1,000 with the first interest payment due on February 11, followed by semi-annual payment every February and August 11. The bond carry a fixed rate of 11.25% per annum, less than 25% withholding tax, and form part of a $158 billion original program for budget financing before the impact of the Hurricane Melissa. It's a country, eh? Turn upside down and back way. You run out, gone lend JPS money, but for people forget back light. And then you turn around now, gone back, gone borrow money. How do make it make sense? Make it make sense. Tell me if you don't call that good governance. Type in a comment. Type in a comment. Type in a comment there for me. Please. Make it make sense here tonight. If I was doing something, right? I mean I have sufficient money to do my business. And now they come and borrow my money. You think me I go lend Nadi my money and then turn and go borrow back the money when me lend Nadi the money? Nadi not get no money. She have to go look the money at that place to borrow. If I go and lend out money and then me have to turn around back and borrow back money, will not make it make sense? Make it make sense. And why labor right them there? Because I love run out for everything. Because run out for this. I have some money in my hand. And I know that I don't have sufficient money to carry out my duties. And my budget are going to run short. And JPS come and borrow my money. JPS, you know. Where profit them make a year time. JPS. I'm not going to lend JPS that the money. I would use that money. I would come to the nation and say, you know what? To keep our borrowing down, the money that we get from the catastrophe bond, we are going to pump it into the economy and help to put in the budget. But no, you lend it to JPS and then no, you're going to borrow $5 billion now. for help, fun. Oh, no make it make sense because I must be idiot. Oh, no explain it. Oh, saying I want the people that get backlight. The people that don't get backlight same way. Can I go no faster than where can go? In a reach no further than where they reach. Because under the grid them a fix. A generator them a use in a some areas. There was no life-saving sitting with getting backlight. We have an hurricane and everybody must understand that. That is not an overnight fix. We're almost 3 months after the hurricane and still not done. So what was the purpose of lending JPS the money? And under the grid them a fix. As some standby generator sitting them a use. It's just that are some bigger powered one that they can power. So the grid they not fix. So anyhow you take you in a trouble. You can't get no light yet, Douglas. The truth is, for what I see happen down there, no miracle or no magic one can make everybody get back light right now. Some place the road they not fix it. So all light posts are going to plant down there. The road they not fix it, Some community still cut off. So how you going to run light go there? Where the JPS man came out and said, them plant over, I forget how much poles. And a one person, a one customers in that community. If I was JPS, I would not run back any light there. I would run so much light posts for one customer. What they should do is to give that customer a generator and take those light posts and go in other areas. But you know, run how much mile a light post you're going to get one because you don't know so you're not going to want somebody depend at the line or just one paying customer. So I pay nonsense all out there though. One bag of nonsense. But JPS, the government, the whole of the idiot. We loan them at a lower interest rate. Oh, yes, thank you for that too, because I should highlight that too. According to them, they lie so till you can't follow them, because they don't speak the truth. No truth in them. But make we go with what them say. Them are going to blend JPS it at 5%. Right? And then go and borrow money now for, and I go pay back 11.7% yearly. Oh, not tell me if this government here makes sense. Can somebody, this thing I get for my nerves because I don't understand. Me start to get confused now. Them do so much things to confuse people. You can't follow them in a straight line, They do not need a straight line. So what is the intent of the money that they're borrowing from that IMF lending them, the 415 million US dollar? We want to hear what on intend to do with that money. I say that where you're talking, Douglas, don't have no road problem and still. But Douglas, let me tell you the truth. And I saw the light really go like, oh, you see Daryl Valsco. You see him not come to Parliament. And I saw it go like, oh, him want make it look. I put himself like him up on a pedal stool. Another thing me want to find out from that, hold on. I can go for some sitting here and show now. Me not tell no lie. My son sent some barrel. And not even feel me barrel them, but I'm send down a barrel them. And my next son go collect the barrel. The barrel then send off from last year. the 8th of November. Either 6th or the 8th of November, him send off the barrel them. I want to hear me. That means the barrel were sent when the government said, I can go for the paper them, because I want to show you something here tonight. The shipping company charged him $24,000 for the 4 barrels. And custom charged him $3,073. And the wharf tell which one this is. Oh, this is custom. Let me see how much 1,000 upon this one. No, I don't want it. The wharf, no, hold on. The wharf charge him 14,000. How much thousand I telling us the shipping place charge? 24 and 14, 38 and 3,000 I add. That's 41. You tell me pay something. I won't pay something else. The same barrel was shipped from the time them say. So this is the reason why they hold up the barrel them on the wharf. To say that the time passed for the free shipment and that people have to start pay for them barrel because of January now. And tell me, if I didn't tell you this from last year, say, you know, so they're not going to clear all of them barrel until next year in order for people have to pay. You see, when you don't hear me come here and say nothing, so say, so done. You see how it fall in line? If you follow, you see how it fall in line? The exact thing that I have said is the very same thing that is happening. I am waiting on them to call me, so I want to see what them are going to tell me out there when me go out there too. Honestly, the criminality. Are you watching what is happening? I don't think a lot of people is watching what is happening. I should have taken a picture. Yesterday, I was coming home and I saw a man selling some jelly. I generally go to the market Saturday morning and buy my jelly, but I never buy any Saturday morning. So I try to have a jelly to drink at least one a day, like in the morning time. So I say, you know, I stop. I need a little electrolyte in my system. I stop. But I passed it. So I go up and I turn at the police station that is newly built. And then claim say them pave off a road. Just the other day. And the rainfall, right where the police them have to turn going at the new police station, you know. The road mash up. So I said to myself, what happened to the Sparks and the Reach program, people? What happened to the Sparks and the Reach? Is it stop sparking? And is it that it don't reach? Oh, it says, Harold, the rest of the money are for the next election. I think I'll fail them this time. You see the money buying a vote? A man can do so much and no more. I'll fail them this time. You're going to fail them this time. Remember me tell you. You're going to fail them this time. Always see them are going with. One sitting now go work all the while. It's going to fail them one at a time. It's going to fail them, man. More are going to happen before. Hear me good. Something are going to happen significant in this country before the next one come. Remember we talked about it tonight. Here? There was already a bailout custom on the wharf before Melissa. Oh. No, but me only I try for sure. And they still not a scanning machine there. No. I don't know what kind of prosperity we have. They don't have a scanner out by the wharf to scan stuff. You have to, so that's what keep up all the process of it too. But every customer come have to take out the things them out of barrel and pack them back into the barrel. They could have scanned 10 people. Because there's just certain things they are looking for. And once you set the scanner to detect it, they cannot pass through. But they don't have a scanning machine. So you have to take out everything out of the barrel. You have to take everything out of the barrel and pack them back. And you know, when the barrel is packed and you take out the things them out there, it's hard for pack back. So you want to demand them have to go and just jump up on the barrel and ram back the barrel in order for try get it for close back. It's just like when you pack your suitcase at home. And when you travel and when you reach now, have to pull the suitcase at the custom. It is so hard to get it back to fix like how you did fix it home. It's the same thing with the barrel. And that's the kind of prosperity down here. And the rain is falling. A heavy piece of rainfall today too. So you know, say, more of the road them are go worse. More of the road them are worse. So me want to ask the government tonight, where is the sparks and where is reach? Are we it in here? Spark and reach. The sparks done stopped since the election gone. And nothing now reach. Because election done. This is I don't know where this country really turned upside down. I can't understand some of the labor right now. I look like I'm a Jamaica on a living. I mean, I understand it. Because some of them still a run out and a support and a talk about. Me I wonder if you're not sensible, you know. You know, so me I wonder if you're not sensible. I want different world, I want different Jamaica with it. Me I know say you have one up a sky and one upon the earth. Because most up a sky under there. And most up in the sky under there. And as a matter of fact, if you're still up in the sky, you could have looked down upon earth, so you still see it. And them the kind of something that happen. You know what hurt me? If it was affecting only Uno, it was not bad. You know, but I really want to see them share Jamaica in a two. Yes. I want them share Jamaica in a two. Split in a two. And give Labour right one section for run. And give the PMP one section for run. Me live with PMP there. I make we see who for places. And them for run the same way all them are run for them. Me guarantee you. So for we part of that look better than phone part. But back to what a fun and joke now. Everything turned upside down. Everything. Everything. I'm going to open up the phone line now. Me say, hey, me da clean up. Hey, me da clean up food section, you see, Nadi? And me go plant up flowers. And me keep it clean. Me get all people. And make people keep it clean. We pay for keep it clean. Me make it clean like Cayman Island. And then can't come over for a part. Where is the Cayman is suggesting to Jamaica like the divided states? It don't go up, man. It's just a little humor that still. But it should have can't happen, man. Split it in two. Split it right down the line. From upper Portland, you split it straight in the middle. Straight in the middle. We are giving them a south and we are taking north. We are giving them a south coast and we are taking the north coast. Wanna think? Anyway, me say Nesta Margarin come out. No, me say Cliff Hughes come out and talk about let me see if me find it. You know, I can't bother with the phone still. It Nesta Morgan come out and say poor patching not the only cause of bad road across Jamaica. So wait, one day, hold on then. The last year they may come out and say $40-something billion got spent on road. And how them never get the Chinese firm to fix the road them. I know me see the Chinese firm to fix the road them. I say, yes, so if I carry government a court, I can't wait for it to sign a petition when I put it out. Don't tell me too much lie now, brother. We can't take no more it. Too much lie. Alright, we are gonna follow up with let me see if I find this guys. Come.
That was in the apartment. Is there anything you would have done differently in terms of strategy? Because there are folks who believe that those arguments came across as a bit fantastic. Hard to believe.
Well, you see, we are creatures of instruction. What Mr. Maitland said, he said, I do not know how blood or her blood would have gotten there. That is what he opened and said. I do not know. This is the only way how I think it could have happened. Right? And you have to remember something also as it relates to the blood in the apartment. Good. What the Crown is saying, is that they themselves don't know when the blood got there. Because the blood could have been there a year ago. Before this incident. That's what they're saying,
Obviously, jurors felt the blood got there because Donaldson was killed.
But let me follow that up a little bit, Mr. Townsend, because if that is the suggestion, wouldn't that mean Mr. Maitland's apartment may not have been clean for more than a year? Because certainly on the drapes, and I believe it was on the cushion.
On a curtain. And they found on the cushion.
But Mr. Townsend, reasonable people change their curtains at least more than once a year.
Change their curtain, my friend. And the truth is, We don't even know if the curtain was right where it was when it is that the blood got there. We don't know where these things were when any blood got anywhere.
I know we're fast running out of time.
You hear how the liar bias? But anyway, I'm jabbing my door anyhow, but the man say the red substance, and that may look for, you know.
On my mind this morning, I
look for one clip with the road business with you know, I not say what name the forward there. I not say Fergie.
look at me, it's over. I'm dropping the charges. A West Welland woman is hospitalized in serious condition following a brutal domestic dispute in the Chantilly Gardens area of Savlamar. Police say the incident happened around 4:40 Friday morning when a heated argument between the woman and a 25-year-old farmer got physical. The accused, identified as Jason Chambers, also of Chantilly Gardens, is alleged to have beaten the woman, attempted to strangle her, and later returned to the scene armed with a machete, inflicting multiple chop wounds to her body. The wounded woman was rushed to hospital for treatment. Chambers fled the scene but was taken into police custody during an operation in the community on Saturday. He has since been charged with wounding with intent and assault occasioning actual bodily harm. He is scheduled to appear before the Savlamar Parish Court on Friday.
You hear how them man are wicked? It looks so naughty. You hear how them wicked? You hear all these people wicked. At time beat her up, you know, and left and go, you know, man. For a cutlass, you know. And come back again and done her again, you know, man. And what kind of spirit in a black people, so? We talked about it this morning, that while me came on, one man come on this morning and come talk about who black from who white, and who first did make by God. And I say, but wait, yeah. If that is the reasoning, something really wrong with we. Because that would also put us for the first committed unaliving on the planet then, according to the record. So maybe that's why we're so salt. We don't know. Or we get the most heated temper. Rosemary Buckner, good evening. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you know? Something wrong.
You really just should have paid for all of our food.
Say
I
goodbye.
can't find a clip. I can't find a clip.
A West Welland
Anybody want to call in? No, come man, call up. If I'm not call in tonight, you know. I'm not sit down and want to not call in. Okay, me one can't just come every night, come sit down and talk. That's what the show is. It's a discussion
We're
show.
a bit surprised by the verdict, but it is a verdict and it is what it is. Of course, there's always a court of appeal. So, on to the next level.
You said that there's always a court of appeal. Is this an indication that you will be appealing the
Well,
verdict?
I have a strong feeling that whichever way the verdict went, there would have been an appeal. We're a bit surprised by the verdict.
The experience begins.
Nobody know I'm calling tonight. Auntie, how did you figure Cliff Hughes lie about the PMP MP? Because after he put out that statement, the youth of the JLP came out and put out a statement after that. So I read between the line. Let me look for the youth where them put out. So that's why I know say him a tell lie. Because if it was something conclusive, the JLP youth would put out something that match what he's saying. Look like them take it out. It look like them take down in something, you know. They look like the labor right then take down there. Cause me read it last night. But what they said was Dr. Daz will come and speak what he know about it. Yeah, so that is the reason why me know say. And they put it out after, long after. So then take it down off of the platform back. It's not on it tonight. They take it down. Let me check the next one. Oh. They take down that one. They take down the one then. Yesterday they put it out. They take it down. They were asking him. So that's all me know. Me notice say him not come back out can't say anything about it today too. He mostly talk about Donnelly case now. So I say Andrea Steve put out something on him. Let me find it. And it make a lot of sense.
Saying tonight, Jamaica, that the
No, not that one.
right off. You know, sister, you shot the country to Cliff Hughes. You know, sister, you shot the country when you do that. Sister, you shot the country to Cliff Hughes. You know, sister, you shot the country when you do that, Cliff Hughes. You're not going like me for telling you the truth, you know, Cliff Hughes. But I'm going to tell you the truth. You must make your reporting unbiased. So if you're going to talk about the PNP, talk about the labor rights, who equally got the tax exemptions. 1.4 billion Cliff Hughes you got in tax write-offs. 1.4. And you want to talk about Dennis Gordon 11 million? Talk about Dennis Gordon 11 million. And if it is wrong, it is wrong. But talk about how your company stifled off and suffered the nation 1.4 billion in taxes. Right now. To Jamaica. When the propagandists come here, what is 11 million versus 1.4 billion dollars? And I see it here. Let me find back your things then, Cliff Hughes. Ishmael, put back up this number. Put it up for me tonight, Ishmael and Trader. Because I'm going to prove to you the hypocrite he is. The hypocrite. The Sambalat and the Tobias is Jamaica. Look there. But you have to run the propagandist machine because that is how you pay off your taxes. That is how you pay the taxes, Cliff Hughes. The propaganda. If he doesn't carry the propagandist narratives, that is why Miss Kitty did leave your company, because she never did get her taxes them. She never did get her benefits them. Why so much people left your company? Because you remember the time when the mic did drop and Cliff Kitty did inquire about the NHG and the rest of tax them, Cliff Hughes never did pay. Bala!
Time for laugh or drop. No, sir. So, inquired pan it to them that bring up no story in regards to that today. Nothing at all. Nobody not call in tonight, you know. You know, say the people them not call in. Me not understand them people. You know, just a call up the show, you know. If you not call in, you know, have to call in. But me look for Alfred does.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alfred Dawes, and this is UC on life support. While these scandals are manifesting on a national scale, the University Hospital of the West Indies has its own Manchester boy who presides over a hostile culture with no recourse for complaints as written by the residents of the hospital themselves. UHWI consultants have not been speaking in vague terms. They have put their fears and frustrations in writing. They describe a hostile working environment where there is no recourse or grievances and an atmosphere of intimidation and lack of support by the hospital management team. They warn that in a healthy work environment, no one should even feel that a single person can result in their separation from their job simply because of a difference of opinion, and noting that nothing related to job competence matters. Outside of joint letters to senior management, the story goes deeper. In recent years, one of the most powerful documents to come out of the UHWI is a letter written by one head of department in 2021 addressed to the head of the Department of Surgery, Radiology, Anesthesia, and Intensive Care. In that letter, this is what he wrote. Dear Professor, I wish to crave your attention this morning to address a very important matter that has affected our collective function, which we need to take collective decision on the way forward.
Good night, Debbie.
I have just come off the phone with a sister who is most distraught and frustrated following the event with a doctor in question the night before. There must be an end to the constant meddling and interference in the administrative management of the intensive care unit by this doctor. Otherwise, the collective morale of the staff will be completely eroded if that has not taken place already. It is a self-serving conflict of interest if this person continues to bully his way into the process of admissions and discharges regarding his patients without regard to the collective well-being of the staff and other patients. In this case, his private patient. This behavior has enabled other consultants who have also embarked on a similar pattern of behavior, with a constant recall to the fact that since this person is allowed to go so unchecked, we lack the moral authority to call them to order. Whether it is in the matter of staffing, admissions, discharges, equipment, to name but a few, we are being hedged at every corner. This affects all levels of our staff, medical, nursing, and technical staff. We just want to be given the room and space to function and make our decisions without undue stress and pressure. The decisions regarding admissions and flow of patients within the ICU should be left to the ICU management team, which are very capable of making those decisions. As head of department, I am at a loss for recourse in addressing this matter, as previous conflicts regarding decision-making in anesthesia and ICU have failed to be resolved, even when escalated to the joint head. At every level, this has gone on unchecked, and how we move forward as a department needs to be discussed. We cannot have one rule for others and a different one for this person under his current leadership, which also happens to be a senior role in the hospital. This is a conflict of interest with the potential for abuse.
Positive movement.
The nursing
Good.
staff are at a point of revolt as they feel completely marginalized and confused. These are some of the reasons why we continue to lose staff at an alarming rate. The feeling of powerlessness and complete disregard to your person or position. I am not prepared to continue as head under these conditions, and it may do well for both the university and the hospital to find someone who will do the bidding of this person without questioning the fairness and regard to the impact it has on the rest of the staff. I am uncertain how we got here as a department and how we get out of this quagmire. We need an honest and open conversation about this problem and how we address it. Failure to do so will only lead to a department without leadership, direction, and a future. And he ends with a cry, may God help us all. This is not coming from a junior doctor with hurt feelings. These are the words of a head of department saying he's no longer prepared to lead under the constant meddling and interference of this person. Warning of conflict of interest, abuse of power, and nurses, quote, at a point of revolt because they feel powerless.
If you should have that prison, Adi.
It is clear that staff are not just uncomfortable, they are being driven out by a leadership culture they describe as bullying, conflicted, and unchecked. When that is how your own doctors and department heads describe the people running your teaching hospital, something is fundamentally broken. And that is why this episode is not just about politics in Kingston. It is about a leadership culture inside the UHWI that frontline staff are begging the country to confront. Let us look at how the Manchester boys are able to pull this off. They concentrate power in a small circle. Procurement is used as a tool, not just to buy goods, but to distribute opportunity and patronage.
Yeah.
Complaints are managed, not resolved, through silence, transfers, or intimidation. Public messaging tightly controlled, even as audits and internal letters tell a different story. PR strategies, big flashy headlines to distract from any potential issues are weaponized. This cannot continue. A system like this does not only fail on ethics, it fails on performance. When frontline staff believe that speaking up can cost them their jobs, they stay quiet about errors, shortages, and unsafe practices. When senior clinicians see abusive behavior go unpunished and even rewarded, they stop trusting the institution. When billions are spent under a minister with a history of procurement scandals while basic infrastructure collapses, the public loses faith in the entire healthcare system. UHWI is not a district hospital. It is not a community hospital. It is the main teaching hospital of the University of the West Indies and the referral center for 18 countries across the Caribbean. It trains the doctors, nurses, and specialists who will staff hospitals from Belize to Barbados to Guyana. Allowing a Manchester boys culture built on protectionism, intimidation.
Unlock your stay for less with
We said now the data should be bawling out about agriculture minister too. This is even worse to the MOU. And then come out and try defend it, you know. Anytime they do nothing wrong and then catch them, then come out and try to defend it. And never see a set of people that will try to defend all their wrong. They never own up to the wrong and say, you know what, we err and we make a mistake. And we will try to improve on it. So you know you could have known say we are human and we make. But it become a habit. So not even a mistake. It becomes a habit. It's not even a mistake again. It is so sad when we sit down and we look at what is really happening in this country. Every ministry, everybody a criminal. Hi, Clive, good night. Everybody a criminal. And all them do, Marcia Johnson, good night. All them do is to make excuses for their actions. Nobody own nothing that they have done. And it is getting from bad to worse. I talk about, I'm going to play a clip, make a ear. Cliff use a question, Floyd Green, I hear what I have to say.
People of Jamaica.
The Auditor General's report on your ministry saying that $870 million worth of contracts were not properly reviewed by your procurement committee. Yeah? How do you plead? What happened?
I'll say two things. I'll say three things. I think people are very aware how our procurement systems operate now, and that procurement does not operate at the level of the minister, and that is on purpose.
Listen to Floyd.
We structured our system in such a way to separate ministerial oversight and ministerial direction from procurement. And ministers are by law mandated to focus on things of policy. So a lot of the things that have come to bear in terms of, for example, a committee minutes not being supplied are news that would come to the minister for the first time. So I'll say that firstly, and I'll come back to that in the end. The second thing is, having discussed it with my technical team, and I'm sure they have prepared a response and would have disseminated a response. The Auditor General at no time said that $870 million was used for untoward purposes, or went to contractors that were not bona fide, or that the money was misappropriated. What the Auditor General said is that she did not receive minutes for the procurement review meeting. What the ministry has said is twofold. In some instances, you are not required by law to have a procurement review meeting. Even though the Auditor General may have it in the guidelines, there is a law that supersedes that. And two, this was not last year. This was not the year before. This was in 2021, 2022, when we were in COVID, when the meetings were being held virtually, and that the ministry had indicated to the Auditor General that there were challenges retrieving recordings from that virtual system, and have taken steps to retrieve those recordings as far as possible and to share them. So there was no malfeasance. And sometimes when these reports band about figures, it gives the impression that there's malfeasance or misappropriation that has not taken place. The third matter that I find extremely curious is why in the reporting of this would a media house seek to put my image against a report that had absolutely nothing to do with my ministerial direction.
What you mean by that under your ministry?
As minister personally, that there was no reference to me or allegation in relation to me, and then they put it on social media, superimpose a title that says transparency compromise, to give the impression that the person in the headline image is connected to the compromisation of transparency, when that is not true. And I think that is unethical. And I think we have to look back at our tenets of journalism in this country. The factual context is that I was only minister for 4 months in that year.
That came for the Auditor General.
But outside of that, these reports do not relate, refer, or engage with ministers. But there are some who want to give that impression to try and perpetuate the feeling that politicians are of a certain ilk. Some of them forget that we have lives before and after politics. There has never been, in my short but now longish political journey, any allegation about corruption,
Stop lying.
lack of transparency.
Talk about the
And
fertilizer
those are
there.
things that I take extremely seriously. So I've written to the Gleaner about it. And I have asked my lawyers to review it. Because I am very sure they will try and say, well, you are the minister. No. But the association that is given from the headline image being attached to the
Good night,
headline.
Jennifer Jenkins.
Suggest you were responsible ministerially.
Never
And it
own
is-
up
it
to
is
nothing.
wrong. It is untrue.
If they
it is
can run
unethical,
Garcliffe use,
and it should not be done.
you look like a him then savior. Let me play this one.
Of Jamaica.
Mr. President,
Listen then.
RADA is there as an organization to assist our farmers. But we need to see more. We need to see more support for our farmers coming out of RADA. And we spoke earlier about the cost of corruption in agriculture. And I know that we don't want to touch it, but it is a real matter. Because when there are implications of fertilizer not being given to those who need it most, but being sold, that is a dangerous road to go down. And whether or not,
And on a point of order once more, Mr. President, yes, lies bite. There was the Auditor General's report did not allege any corruption, and it did not.
You hear them?
What it
You hear
said
them?
expressly was that they were concerned that they did not have the beneficiary list in all of the bags, and they were provided. There is, Mr. President, no allegation of corruption comprised in the Auditor General's report, and any attempt to try to have those things embedded in Hansard or that fertilizer was sold.
it's in the report.
They have been responding, so I will check on that as well. But you guys are very, I just have to say, Mr. President, that these utterances that are being made demonstrate the utmost irresponsible and disregard for the importance of the relationships between Jamaica and the countries who have been providing such strong support for our farmers, which they have felt and has increased their productivity undeniably and indisputably.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. President. It seems like the minister is more concerned about relationships than the farmers who need these resources. It is in the report. Check it out. It's a Google away. It's a Google away. Read the report.
All right.
Mr. President, I was on the point of corruption, where resources are directed away from the people who need it most. I can talk for my farmers in Muirhouse who after the hurricane were supposed to get fertilizer and them say no PNP farmer now get it. That is corruption. When we talk about agriculture, listen, you can't tell me the experience, and it's me walk and talk with them. Mr. President.
And that was from when Gabriel bring up the issue about the corruption that was there. And now it come to light where the Auditor General is saying, and yet the minister is coming out to say, oh, him not responsible because I never did when him did it and when him did a shot and all kind of something. The problem is there. We see truck park up or give a JLP yard a unload fertilizer. So these are the corruption that we're talking about. So I don't know how I'm going to get away from it. I don't know. Boy, I just wonder what kind of corruption will come out tomorrow now, Lord. Every day now you have to just look to see what next. You just have to be looking to see what next, boy. It's sad though, you know. It's a sad state of affair that is happening. in the country. It is really, really, it is really, really and truly heartbreaking to see the country plunge into corruption. It is very heartbreaking. It is very, I don't even know how to explain it. And for me to come here all the time talking about it, it gets to me sometime, you know? It really gets to me. The condition and the state. And the people them who are in the country cannot see the corruption because they live, walk, and sleep in it. So they cannot see it. But my people, we are going holy faith, you know, disgraceful man, it disgraceful, you know, and the people them were suffering at the hurricane, still not get nothing. People out there still a cry out and don't get no help from the government. What if the people them not really run out and help the people? What a whole heap of body bag we don't have. What a whole heap of body bag. Me feel say me want them dead off. You saddened too, Jennifer, you boy. Me tell you say me saddened too. Me think me gonna stop. Me think me gonna stop pay mine because it is really sad and heartbreaking. You know? Choose corruption over good governance. That's what they do. And it is heartbreaking. It is very heartbreaking. So anyway, this is where I'm going to stop for tonight. I'm going to go and go watch a favorite show. And I think I really want to go lay down and sleep. So, have yourself a great night. And before I go, we thank God that justice served somewhat to the Jamaican, not just like the American. Why you say that? Why say Jamaican are just like the American? Why you compare the both? Why? Because them vote for Trump and vote for Andrew? You have to talk, you know. Because me and them are like, listen a bit. Me and them are the same thing. Because none of what them do. Well, me figure say that you say, well, if me was an American, me sure say that man gonna get my vote. And I was in Jamaica and me didn't vote for Andrew neither. So when you're using the term, I want you to add another word to it. I want you to say some Jamaican, or if you want to use most Jamaican, then that's alright. That means it exempt me, but don't include me. You understand, Patrick? Next time when you pen it that way then. Because me they are either one of the country. None of who them vote for me wouldn't vote for them. 240,000 to come down and vote, and I'm disappointed. Don't disappointed. You know why? Your conscience is good because you didn't vote for the corruption. So not because we didn't win. Don't feel sad. Don't feel sad. You did not vote. So none of we are going. We're not guilty of it because we didn't participate to help them to thief the people their money. Yeah. That's why I say people for know what you choose when you choose. And choose correctly. Enough of them sorry and shame now like dog, you know. Enough of them shame like dog. Enough of them shame like dog. Anyway, Con Henry, thank you again. You're always tapping up over TikTok for me. Have yourself a great night and all being well, I'll see you in the morning. Alright? Bye. Sweet peas are just a giant. We have a short version tonight. We won't, but the criminal thief it. Yeah, we know that. We know that too, Jennifer. All right.